Hello and welcome to the very first Action Trippin' Ballscast. I can't even say it. The reason why we're calling that is because we are Action Trip, and to be on this site and to work for here, we are tripping balls daily. I don't know how else to say it, but this is the first time that we are actually going to have our video cast. We've been planning this for what, 2 years now? Well, I finally pushed it and made him do it. So, and with me, because you guys know me and Carrie Honey, I am the reigning CE queen and the so-called senior editor of the site. And with us is Urosh Pavlovich, our editor-in-chief.
Hello
and
there.
reigning Vader and Star Wars enthusiast.
Yes, I am indeed, and I am the editor-in-chief of ActionTrip.com. This is my first ever public appearance for our readership, and I have no idea what I've just put for my little caption. It's something to do with Vader, isn't it? I'm sure people will enjoy it anyway. And I'm actually glad we're gonna.
As I say, it looks like we have Solid Snake guest starring.
Oh yeah, I've been playing. Yeah, I've been playing Metal Gear, and I just didn't want to turn it off. I mean, so he can wait. He's a very patient guy. You know, it's like maybe 2 or 3 hours per mission. He likes to go, hardcore stealth. So patience is his middle name. I don't think he'll mind.
Well,
I can move maybe the camera a little bit like this, maybe like tree. He's like, what's that? But yeah, I've been having fun with the game, definitely.
Well, I would assume he is patient since he does, hide in those cardboard boxes. I think that's kind of required. You can't.
Yeah, or he's partially man, partially cat. They like to hang out in boxes, I think. But yeah, he's an interesting character, and I'm hoping to share a few short gameplay videos that I made of him just hanging around the mother base, which sort of is supposed to be a big deal in the game, right?
Okay.
You build the base, and there's these huge facilities you can expand. You can have an R&D department. You can have a med kind of platform where your soldiers will heal and stuff. But the problem with my mother base is that I've made almost all the buildings, and I have very little staff. It's a ghost town, basically. Maybe a few guards here and there, and they usually complain, we need more staff. You just I'm fine.
So you're saying that your mother base is like Konami?
Pretty much. Although I'm not as ruthless as they are, if stories are to be believed. But what I've neglected to do is to Fulton every single guard I take down, and that's what you're supposed to do, because that's how you build up your army. You don't persuade these people. You just knock them out.
You kidnap them?
It is kind of kidnap, isn't it? And at the same time, when they arrived to Mother Base, they were taken by force, and they're somehow willing to work for me. It's an interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, I know you'll get more into it with your review and we get into what we're playing, but our topic of the week is about a remastered treatment, because I happened to notice this weekend as I was going through some of my press releases, and I guess I could have written a news post about this, but I don't know, it's a weekend, I was feeling lazy. There's going to be a remastered version of Castle Crashers for the Xbox One. Now, I know Castle Crashers was a big deal when it came out on the Xbox 360 Live Arcade. It's a really popular game, 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
But with although I guess the whole idea of remaster treatment, it's not like it's one of those games that is photorealistic like Gears of War. It's one of those artistic games, and I guess I'm wondering why this is going to get the remastered treatment and not just be part of the backwards compatibility. that the Xbox One is going to be pushing into November. So basically asking people to buy the game again, and which I guess every remastered asks that, but I'm starting to wonder if we're getting too much of the remastered treatment, especially with the new generation of consoles. Like, I'm understanding like the Uncharted trilogy and all that because it's all three of those games, but given the remastered treatment. But like an indie arcade game, and even as one as popular as Castle Crashers, it kind of baffles me.
Well, there's definitely like the scene is getting more crammed, with these remastered games and re-releases and stuff. I mean, but I guess it all depends on the price tag, right? I mean, did they reveal the price of the game?
As far as, well, I guess let me do some research and see if there is.
Because I mean, if it's like I don't know, I guess if it's not like if it's like $20 or something, I don't know what the remastered games are usually cost on Xbox or on PlayStation for that matter.
Well, okay, so let's see. The Xbox 360 version is $15. They do not have the remastered set in the store yet. So I have a feeling it'll either be around the same, or I can't imagine it being any more. Because why would people pay more? Because it's not like. And of course, I also wonder if maybe the remastered will contain all of the DLC, which might make it a little more worth it.
Probably will.
Looks to be a ton of DLC packs for $1 and $2 a pop.
Yeah, there are. But I mean, I have to admit that out of all the games I've played over the years, that one is probably one of the best co-op experiences I've had, because it's 4-player and it's wacky, cartoony kind of environment where there's no chance you just hook up this. You start to play this game and you join with friends and then you don't have fun and you're like, oh man, I'm out of here. That's not gonna happen. I mean, it's just if any game deserves to be remastered, I guess that's a pretty good choice. And I think they're predicting like a longer life cycle for that one, especially now that the developers are working on what's their next game called. I can't even remember. You know what I mean, right?
Who's the developer?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to use my brain instead of Google. That never works.
Yeah.
No,
Mr. Google goes. Oh, the Behemoth.
Behemoth, exactly.
Yes. And they just had an announcement. I just wrote about them.
When?
Like 2 days ago. I remember writing about their new game. Man, the brain does not work.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah, like I said, it's. I don't know how many of these games you have, like this type of game, on Xbox to begin with.
Right? On Xbox One, there's nothing really right now because Xbox One doesn't really have that arcade. They have like the ID Xbox, but I mean, there's not that many indies that are out there, and definitely nothing like this, except for I think the closest might be the Super Time Force, but I don't think that's co-op. I don't know. I have Super Time Force because I think it was free, but I never picked it up, or I've never played it, I'll put it that way.
Well, it could be that like Microsoft is kind of like testing the feedback on this for like their own version of Splatoon. I mean, Nintendo has like Splatoon, right? It's that kind of game. It's really like super fun, and once you're connected with friends, as I said before, you're pretty much guaranteed a hilarious time. Now I sound like a commercial for Castle Crashers, but I really only have positive things to say about it because it was like immensely fun on PC, definitely.
Okay. Well, I mean, just Castle Crashers aside, it just feels like we're getting, too much. It's like every time I hear about, oh, this is going to be remastered, I'm like, really? Like, because I know that Capcom, that's their thing right now, is that they want to focus on remasters of like the Resident Evil series and stuff like that instead of creating something new. And I wonder if partly if it's because they're doing it to try to see where the interest is in some of these old games, or they're completely out of ideas, or they're just trying to milk fans.
Well, it could be all of those things actually.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't know what kind of deal these guys have with Microsoft. Maybe they just need a budget for the new game. I don't know. But Castle Crashers was pretty successful.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I remember it being very, very popular because I was back when I got it. I didn't have Xbox Live subscription, so I couldn't play it with other people, and it was really boring by myself. Like, yes, some of the animations were funny, but you really don't get very far playing by yourself. It's kind of the difficulty curve is pretty steep, and I just didn't have very much fun. And when I finally did get a gold subscription, then no one was really playing it. But I know people who did play it. They loved it, but they always said you had to have your friends to be there with you. Kind of like a Borderlands or Destiny, I think.
It is kind of like that. I mean, Destiny sucks definitely if you play it alone, which I do. Yeah, but it's
the motivation for me to play Destiny just keeps leaving.
It does. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm here to sort of create the balance because.
Oh no! I think the Serbian internet has gotten a hold of Udarash, and we might have lost him. Oh, there he's back. Are you back?
Yeah.
You all froze up.
Yeah, so did you. Should we blame? Are we gonna geographically? I mean,
I'm totally blaming Serbia on this.
Okay. No, I honestly can't have. I don't see any genuine reason to blame Texas for this at all. So yeah, I accept that about my country. Our internet sucks. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, before I cut off, what was I saying?
I don't even know.
Well, oh, was it about Destiny? No, never mind. The point is that if you play any like multiplayer co-op thing, it's better with your friends. I mean, it's
right.
It's just a fact. And I was saying, yeah, that Blake is the one who encourages you to play Destiny, where I was kind of more like, you really should think twice before diving into the endless grind for nothing. You grind and grind.
I thought it was all about the light pants.
The light, yeah, exactly. The light points, right? Yep. And then
the legendary.
You get
the legendary engrams that don't give you anything.
Yeah, they basically, it has like you get the engram, so it's kind of a gamble what you get, but pretty much you can also get a rare item. Never happened in 3 months. Never, not seriously. And that's like, and there were a lot of engrams. So
yeah, I'm not sure how this is the best game ever, Blake. But that's all right.
Really, that's story. That's what he said.
Oh my gosh, yes! Every time I talk to him, best gamer.
Yeah, that's a stretch for me. I have to say. No, I can't say it's the best game. Not yet, anyway. I don't know what they plan to do with it, but at this point, it's not even in the same solar system as the best game ever, which I don't know.
Well, apparently with the Taken King, they're going to try something new, and that's called story. That's what I heard. Well,
that's what they were supposedly going to do with the previous expansion packs, the previous 2 expansion packs. And I've gone through these recently, and the story is, well, it's pretty much kind of has the same. It doesn't say much, really. It doesn't say much about the characters. there is kind of something cool going on, but you still don't know where this thing is that you're supposed to be chasing, and who these people are, and who there's a queen, and she's supposed to be all badass, but I don't know. And I seriously, I never read those grimoires. Anyway, you get like these updates from Bungie, and you're supposed to log on to their website. You log out of the game to get more details on the story, and you go online. Seriously, what kind of storytelling is that? We really should like mention this because I see we're supposed to talk about our disappointment of the week. Right.
But which is not Destiny, not yet.
Yeah, it is kind of in the same area, I think, but it was last year's disappointment. I think it was a year really disappointing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this disappointment, it came down last week. As for Square Enix and Eidos Montreal announced their Augment Your Pre-Order program for Deus Ex Mankind Divided, where they're basically saying that, usually with pre-orders, they have pre-order incentives. That's nothing new. They always have had that. Usually it's a digital item. Sometimes it's the thing I hate the most, and they have it retailer specific for a physical or a digital item. But this time they're saying, look, if you pre-order, you definitely get this, but the more pre-orders we get, you get the opportunity to maybe get all this stuff. And
right.
So, and I understand where they're coming from, and that they're trying to incite more pre-orders. I get it.
Yeah, but it's a huge but. I don't want to.
I feel like it's a kick in the pants.
Yeah.
To people who do pre-order on a regular basis, and to Deus Ex fans. I mean, I do pre-order because I'm not a person who waits on reviews for stuff unless I'm sitting on the fence. Like, this is one of those games that unless we get a review copy, and actually I already know if we get a review copy, Vader's getting it. But I mean, I will be pre-ordering this game, but okay, not that I will be. I already have. Okay, I've pre-ordered the collector's edition.
Can I just stop you there for a second, because you do know why? You do know why I'm the one who's going to play this game, because if you do, you're going to be just killing things every which way. You're not going to go stealth, right?
No.
And stealth is kind of the point in Deus Ex. I'm not saying the aggressive way is less fun. It's a matter of taste, I guess. But really, when you play it, with the like stealthily, that's the way to go in Deus Ex.
No. See, my strategy is that you sneak in, like through the vents. You hack the computers, turn the turrets against everybody, and when the screaming stops, you stand up and just walk on out.
Yeah, I think you're living up to your reputation as the collector's edition queen with her icy look. So I wouldn't want to. I have tried the aggressive way in Deus Ex, in Human Revolution, right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't entirely happy with it. It's part to do with the fact that when you start to shoot like everywhere, the controls were weird. That was weird for me, which again was yeah, and the boss fights were difficult. It was an issue with a lot of people had that issue. They did tweak it with the director's edition, whatever it's called. But I don't know. For me, stealth is still the way to go in Deus Ex. But regarding this whole pre-order thing, I totally do not see. I seriously cannot see how this. Tier system. There's a tier system, right?
Yes, it's like up to 5 tiers.
It doesn't justify the pre-order in any way. It's like they're basically desperate for it. With the just like all these levels that give you the choice, you know, between stuff you can unlock if you pre-order. Like, what was this? You can pre-order. You can choose between a digital comic, right? Digital comic book.
I'm gonna pull up my article right now.
Or a novella that follows iconic characters from Human Revolution, and yet, I mean, why? Why can't you just like buy and get everything? And the whole thing builds up. The level of stupidity is just builds up to the tier 5, which is supposed to like be the highest level. Where if you get to that level, you get the game 4 days earlier. Now that's just like, I mean, come on. It's like the marketing guys were, please just pre-order and send us money and we're gonna give you this game. I mean,
right.
It's I don't know. For me, I hope that this seals the fate of pre-order culture, which is getting like a bad rep anyway in the past few years.
Yeah, it is, and you know, the big reason why pre-order culture is getting a bad rep is because people they pre-order these games so the developers are able to get paid, which is fine. I want the developers to get paid, but when they release the broken games, like the big one was Aliens Colonial Marines. That game was effectively broken. It wasn't even what they showed at E3, which is what started all the pre-orders in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, Assassin's Creed Unity is another one because they pushed that. They didn't delay that one. They pushed that one out so quickly. And the people that were affected were those who the hardcore fans, the ones who buy it on day one, who want to play this game as soon as it comes out, and they. It just kind of feels like a slap in the face, like especially like Batman Arkham Knight. People who pre-ordered it on PC, at least Steam did right by them, letting them
refund, right,
and gave them a complete refund. But and then I have a friend who's screaming about how Kickstarter's making it worse. Now you're paying ahead for a game that you don't even know if it's ever going to come out. They could take your money and run, which is also very true. And something that Chris and I talked about when we had our podcast on SGR. We talked about this, and his whole thing was, he's like, who's to say that people aren't going to pre-order this to help their friends get in that next tier, and then when the game's about to release in 5 days, they cancel the pre-order.
Right, I get that. But still, it's I mean, even you wrote in the news story that you can pre-order the collector's edition if you must, right? You get all this stuff.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, the collector's edition has everything. I believe it is everything and not the choices, but it also has extra incentives to make it a collector's edition, like the figurine, the steel bookcase, an art book. I don't have no idea what the day one edition of Deus Ex Mankind Divided is. Never went through that in the press release. I don't know if it's like my day one Xbox One controller that just has it stamped on there. Day one, aren't you special? Maybe I get a special achievement or something, or a trophy. I got the day one. Woohoo!
In your version, day one edition, Adam smiles, or maybe just a little smirk, because I don't think he ever smiles.
Or maybe when you first load it up. When you first load it up, he says, "I didn't ask for this."
Yeah, he says that anyway. Awesome. It's unavoidable. Avoidable. But I'm not for this. I mean, I'm not for pre-order. It's definitely history has shown publishers screwing this up big time, with the examples we already gave, that you gave, Aliens and Batman. Those are definitely, I mean, I don't want to even go into the whole mess of Evolve, the shooter, which was a ripoff in its own right. I mean, completely like you get very little content for that kind of. I mean, we already talked about this on strategy guide.
Yeah.
It was a major like ripoff. I mean, people were talking like openly about this, how much money you have to like get for a ridiculously small amount of content, and basically it's not worth it. It's really, they've taken pre-order to a whole new level of, you know, idiocy. It's amazing to me that it's still. I mean, as you, it's okay that as a fan you pre-order, you want to, you know, support the project in some way, but still, this tier system it's kind of like a. It just seems to me like a sign that they're getting really desperate.
And
it's like we're begging you to pre-order. Here are so many different levels of
yeah.
You know, it's
there's that, and I'm also wondering like how much of an experiment this is. You know, for either Eidos, not Eidos. This is not experiment for Eidos. It'd be an experiment for Square Enix.
Yeah.
And how many publishers like, I don't know, EA, Ubisoft, Activision are sitting back and going, how does this work? And if they see it be successful, because there are so many Deus Ex fans who are going to want all this stuff, are they going to jump right in and be like, well, this is what we're going to do from now on. We're going to do this tier system.
No, I don't think that's going to happen, because I've heard a lot of people speak against this tier system for Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I didn't see any positive like.
Okay.
Basically, the most positive thing I've heard is what you said. Is like, okay, I guess I get it. You know, you get the whole incentive behind it. But,
well, yeah, I mean, developers need pre-orders because bitches need to get paid.
Yeah.
So I totally understand, because I mean, as actually even one of our readers pointed out, they need these incentives because they need pre-orders, because that is how they can show the publishers that there is a demand for this, and then we can get in talks in for a sequel or something else, or maybe hire us to do something else. So from the developer side, I get it. Now, what you're saying about people talking about it, now critically, people have come out about it, and some consumers have too. The thing is, publishers don't care about that. They care about the dollar. So if people are out there screaming that this is awful, but yet they sell enough to get into this tier 5, what are publishers going to look at? What the critics say or the dollar amount? And speaking of the dollar amount, did you notice that in the tier, they don't even say how many pre-orders they need to unlock the different tiers?
No, they just say what content you can choose. They don't say anything about it.
Yeah. So it could be like a few 100,000. It has to be 2 million. You know, because what is Square Enix's benchmark for success? I know 2 million is not it, because Tomb Raider sold 2 million and they called it a failure. But so, you know.
Yeah, don't even mention that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't. It's just to me, this is so unnecessary. I mean,
it is. It's a slap in the face.
It is, and I just hope that this is not some kind of situation where they actually really desperately need money for the project, and this is the only way, you know, that they could get it. I mean, I just hope that's not
that'd
true.
be awful.
Right, because I've been watching like those developer blogs, because I'm really keen about the game. And they seem to be pretty okay, you know. They seem to have a budget for this. I just don't know why this is necessary. I really don't understand. It is kind of a Square Enix thing. It has Square Enix written all over it, I'm afraid.
Maybe Square Enix needs the money to finish Final Fantasy 15.
You know what? I wouldn't even. I would actually skip the game completely if I found out that was true. I would be seriously.
Oh, come on!
I would be ready to give up on Deus Ex, which is still one of my favorite games like ever. the franchise and Adam and the whole, premise. If this whole thing is an incentive to boost their finances and money for Final Fantasy, I'm ready to quit like right now. And maybe even start a petition against Final Fantasy. No, I'm just kidding. But overall, that's disappointment of the week right there for you. Oh God.
All right. Well, let's move into something maybe a little better.
Sure.
Our indie highlight of the week. It's a It's a PC game, right? PC game, Feist.
Feist. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Feist.
Well, that's how it's pronounced in English. So I don't know if that's not the actual word, but it's a PC game, right? On Steam or?
It is. It's a PC game. It's a platformer, a 2D platformer, and it was obviously inspired by things like Limbo, because you have like these shadowy creatures, and you're like this little tiny hairy guy who is in a very cruel environment, and he has to survive. And it's reminded me of my own existence. Anyway, I tried it a few days ago, and it's fun. Can get a bit like challenging in terms of puzzles and but mostly physics based. It is kind of there was this one other game I wanted to compare it to other than Limbo, but overall I'm pretty I'm interested. I want to keep playing it definitely.
So 2D platformer with difficult platforming puzzles.
No. I said challenging, not difficult. At least not yet.
Challenging.
Difficult is Ori. That's difficult.
Okay, that screams Carrie should not play. Ever.
What was the platformer you played recently that changed your mind about platformers? What was it? Oh, it was the indie thing. The indie thing, the Axiom, or what was it called?
Oh, Axiom. Yeah. I mean, Axiom was good, but yes, I did rage quit because I got to the point. I was like, "Oh, fuck this game, can't handle this anymore." And then I played Adventures of Pip, and I was like, "Yep, I hate this crap. I'm done. I've done my platformer duties for maybe the decade."
Well, dude, you wouldn't last 2 minutes in like Ori or I don't even want to go. Like, I don't even mention.
That is why I told you to review it.
I did have fun. But at some point, you just you want to spare your keyboard all the pain and anguish. Because I didn't play it on a gamepad. And apparently, like most of those games they're just better to play on the gamepad. I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, probably.
No, it's easier, definitely.
Well, if people like the 2D platformers with challenging platforming puzzles, we're going to have a giveaway for 5 Steam codes with Feist. And to enter, you're going to have to answer a question from this video cast. So we're going to make you do it. So it's going to be something about, I don't know what I'm wearing, and something about what Vader's wearing.
Oh,
want to show the people what's on your shirt? Come on.
Oh, well, here.
There. All right. So now you have the clues on what the giveaway is going to be about, and I'm going to have that this week. But yes, we still do have another giveaway for QUBE, which is the director's cut, which is a PS4 games. I believe that game was originally PC. Is that also a platformer? That was a first-person puzzle. Like,
it's a first-person puzzle game with with a lot of similarities to Valve's Portal, but it has its own thing going for it, definitely, and we reviewed it recently. So
yes,
and if people want to check that out before they get the game for free, maybe.
Yes, because I actually have 20 PS4 codes to give away for that. So I'm running that one through Friday, and I'll be posting the giveaway for Feist after I upload this video cast. But now let's move on to what we've been playing. We know what Vader's been playing. We still see him. Well, at least we see the menu screen behind him.
I'll
It's
just
kind of
oh, it's night, but the good old Snake can smoke some cigarettes and speed up time.
Oh.
And then you see, and now there's this thing that is like time lapse thing. Right? And he smokes and smokes away the days. And now it's the daylight, and now I have to stop this somehow, which I suck at this menu.
So,
yeah, the time is still going. I can't stop.
So when it ends, does he die of lung cancer? Is that how it ends? Snake dies of lung cancer.
No, Snake doesn't die. Period. He's just he can smoke to his heart's content. But I was astonished to be honest when I found out that this game has so many missions, story missions. I mean, I wrote about it in the Morning Post and like side missions. I don't know if that's a spoiler. The number of missions, is it?
I don't think so.
Because
I mean, it's a huge open world game, which is did we discuss like how that's the theme of gaming lately, is to make everything huge and open worlds with, sometimes with choice affecting, but definitely lots of side quests, and you can spend so much time doing whatever you want, which is why we never finished games.
Yeah, the first thing with with missions generally in Metal Gear is that you can. I have played 3 missions, for example, 2 story missions and 1 side mission, all going on in the same village, and it's supposed to be open world, and yet for some reason it just occurs in the same spot. So when you're kind of hoping it's supposed to be a new mission, a new thing, and that was repetitive for me. I mean, I expect more from a game that declares itself as an open world game. Give me more choices, give me more variety. If you're gonna bring me back to the same area for 3 times, that kills the experience for me. But after that, I just, I gave it a benefit of the doubt, and I just continued to play. I actually was surprised. There are like cool missions if you play on, and there are those missions that you don't expect. You just you go on your map towards a certain target or goal, and then on your way there, a cool mission can happen. Unpredictable. Now that's a cool feature which I didn't expect, and it happened 5 days into the game. I mean, it was an interesting twist. So I that's why I wanted to give it more time. And if you have if you have a game that has 47 story missions and 157 side missions, it's a pretty it's an enormous amount of content for the money you pay for it. So I want to find out at least what if I can play 15 or 20 missions at least, because it takes a long time, and I do love to to take the stealth route, as I've said, and that's the point of this game actually. Although the action is not bad either. Did I just review the game?
You might have, except that you haven't given a score, so just save that for your actual writing.
Okay, yeah, it's excellent. 2 out of 10. I want to be.
There's a cranky pants score. All right.
Yeah. The trademark cranky pants score. But yeah, I'm gonna write my review tomorrow. I'm gonna play it some more tonight. Having a lot of fun so far. I
mean, I've heard great things about it, especially from Metal Gear fans have absolutely loved it. I've never played a Metal Gear game. I know that will shock you, but I've never played one. But I did watch the Honest trailer this last week, and it made me laugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I finish the review, or at least play a bit more. But I will watch it definitely, as those guys are hilarious. But as for Metal Gear, I've only played this 4 Metal Gear 4 on the PS3, and I finished it.
Oh.
And this is definitely like it has evolved like a lot. And one of the most impressive things was the AI. I even talked about it I wrote about it on Action Trip a lot. Probably one of the best AIs I've seen in a while. So
wow.
No matter what you do, if you choose to sneak, or if you choose like the aggressive, route, you're gonna get your ass kicked unless you're, unless you think ahead. What equipment, where you're gonna position yourself, if you scout the area first, and there's a ton of ways to approach each mission situation, which is again it's like progress. But like for instance, there's this I think you have to extract like this VIP guy, and he is part of a enemy convoy, right? He's in a convoy and he's like wounded or something. So what happens is that I followed them. I followed the convoy, and they just made they stopped at a certain point in the road, and you can either wait for them to continue to their destination and then attack or approach, that base where they arrived to, or you can try and attack them while the convoy is moving, or if it stops right there. And then a sandstorm occurred, which is completely random. The weather is random. It was unpredictable, and that works to your advantage. So basically, I just threw a few grenades to distract the enemy, and they just only had they left maybe 2 guards near the VIP. So basically what I did was I just shortened the mission. I just went in there, I grabbed the guy, and they didn't even know I was there. It's only one possibility. In other words, I've been having a lot of fun with it. Sadly, so little time, Now
yeah,
I think you
playing Destiny.
Oh God, I don't want to. I mean, we can talk about Destiny if you want, but
no, that's okay. So I know you're probably getting ready for the Taken King expansion, which is next week.
Yeah, so, it took me less than a month to get to level 30. Like I made a new character and started from scratch. So now I'm level 30, and I really don't want to go into the details of what getting to level 30 involves.
Okay, then we'll just go to what I've been playing.
It's a guilty pleasure, anyway.
And non-interesting, I'm playing the Halo Master Chief Collection because a really good friend and I, we are deciding we're going through all 4 Halo games before Halo 5 comes out. We just finished the first Halo game last week, so we're going to start Halo 2 this week. He's never played Halo 2 before, but he's a hardcore reader of the books like I am. So basically, we have very nerdy sessions, as we're watching the terminals, then we'll break down what they're saying, compare it to the books, and then we have discussions on the proper pronunciation for the Jiralhani. So they're very, 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 very nerdy Halo sessions. We're having a great time. I cannot wait to watch his mind get blown after I know he read a couple of books and he's never played Halo 2. He's going to be so shocked about some revelations. Hey, something good has to come out of the Halo 2 story because it was not the ending. So we got that.
Sorry to interrupt. Didn't Halo 2? Wasn't the biggest complaint was that it ends on a stupid cliffhanger, or is it?
Yes, because my first time to finish Halo 2 was when I reviewed Halo Master Chief Collection for Action Trip, and I played through Halo 2 mainly because I wanted to see the differences, how it originally looked and how it played. And I knew the ending was bad. And so when the ending happened, like, I put my face in my hands and just cracked up because I could totally see how people got so mad. Because what happens is Master Chief is talking to, I think it's either Johnson or Key, I don't remember. They said, "What are you going to do now, Chief?" He goes, "Finish the fight," and then jumps. Credits. So you might think you're about to go into this huge boss fight. No, not so
Right,
much.
not gonna happen. And they didn't even have promise of DLC in those days. And the single player was probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 hours long. I mean, I'm guessing. I can't remember.
Maybe 10. It was
10-ish.
Okay. It's about 10, but they were banking on the multiplayer, which is what most people played Halo 2 for, was the multiplayer. But we're not playing multiplayer. So the other thing I've been playing is basically, I think it was Friday, and Urash asks me, what are you working on for next week? I was like, well, I got this. I might look at this. He goes, okay, yeah, this is what you need to do. You need to go buy Mad Max. And I was like, okay, so because we need to review it, and I just can't do that in Metal Gear. I'm like, nah, okay. I mean, I had fun with it at E3. Why not? So I went and picked up Mad Max, and because I slacked this weekend, I played it for the first time last night, and basically got through all the tutorials, and it's fun. It is another open world game. I could see where this will suck in a lot of hours. It's set up in kind of the same open world vein as an Infamous game or Far Cry 4, and that you have these areas and you got to clear out the areas of influence. I've never seen Mad Max Fury Road or any Mad Max game, so this morning I asked a friend, like, okay, is this a gamification of the movie? If so, that kind of blows. And so we were comparing notes, and no, it's nothing to do with.
It's not a movie time.
Yeah, and he said, according to the wikis, the theory is that this takes place before Fury Road, which is the current movie. So.
Right.
Right. So I've been having a lot of fun with it. I hate driving games, and this game really focuses on the driving, but they have the driving, simplified. It's not for hardcore racing fans, that I'm able to do it just fine. And I have to say, harpooning people out of their cars just never gets old. Like, as soon as I got that harpoon, so I basically just go chase down convoys and yank people out of their cars and then blow up their fuel tanks and then drive away laughing maniacally.
So it's basically, for you, it's like I know you mentioned that this was the reason why you wanted the game in the first place, right?
Yes, it is what I had the most fun with at E3, when he was teaching me how to harpoon people out of the cars. So, I mean, it's just, in, like, Penny Arcade did a comic about it, talking about how this makes you fishers of men. This must have been what Jesus talked about. So, like, yes, I'm doing the Lord's work. But, I mean, the story so far is not very deep, but I don't know if you're really going to go for story with a Mad Max game. I mean, the environment...
How many hours are you into the game anyway?
About 4.
Oh, okay.
So... I mean, in terms of open world, like, not very far. Like, it's just now getting to the point where things are opening up, and I'm it's like, okay, now you have all the stuff that you can go do. Do you want to do your missions, or do you want to go do it? It's like, well, me being me, I see blips on my radar. I have to go take care of that. So that's what's going to kill me. That was my problem in Far Cry 4. I had to do everything in Far Cry 4. That's another reason why I haven't finished Dragon Age Inquisition, because I have to clear all those blips. And then, Skyrim, I was just like, yeah, no, this is not happening. This is too much.
No way. Yeah.
So, I mean, so far, I mean, it seems to be a game, like, if you're looking for a deep story, I don't think that's going to be there, but it is, an action Mad Max game. I will say that the environments are very great. See, now I feel like I'm reviewing it already. Because the whole time I'm playing, I felt thirsty. Like, I was constantly drinking my water, because I could feel how thirsty and dry and what a wasteland it is. And they do have the random weather elements as well, which can go to your advantage and cannot.
Right.
So far, I mean, like I said, 4 hours in, I'm having a blast. Now that could change, but
any like I mean, okay, 4 hours is still not that much, but any, I don't know, annoying glitches or anything?
Yeah, there's one annoying thing. Like every single time you go to the map, for whatever reason, your little cursor will just kind of like dance around to the point I thought maybe the motion controls were on my controller, but they aren't. And so I would even try to go there without touching any of the analog sticks. If that was it, it'll still just kind of like bounce around. You have to wait till it's done doing its little dance before you can use it. But that's like the only like glitch I've seen so far, and that's not that big of a deal. It's just more of a annoyance. I did have to change the controller mapping when I first started because the default has shooting as circle, and no, I cannot play that way. So I had to switch it so that the shooting would be at least the R1 and L1 buttons because I am playing on the PS4 because the bumpers are for driving mostly, or the triggers are mostly for driving. So, but no, I could not, because what it had me do is like you have to aim with L1 and then shoot with circle, and that just goes against every
You shoot with circle? What the hell?
Like you aim with L1 and shoot with circle, and that just went against every notion I ever had.
Yeah, but circle is like you cancel stuff with it.
Right.
It's even red. It's red.
So I switched it so that you aim with L1 and shoot with R1 because that just makes much more sense to what I'm used to with shooters. And then circle is my evade button. So you dodge roll away.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So those are my only two like little things that I've noticed so far.
Well, it's good to hear that you're having fun with it.
Fun's always good.
Yes, it is. It is what all these games are supposed to be for us, even though they are our work, and people sometimes don't understand how hard it can be. But we're trying to have fun.
When your hobby becomes your job, it starts off like, this is like the best thing ever, and then you realize, wow, but I don't always get to do what I want to do all the time like you would normally do with a hobby. So there's ups and downs, but anyway.
I think
so that
it would be a good topic for some other time, definitely.
Well, there we go. Now we already have a topic for next week. So, but speaking of that, so let's go on ahead and close this puppy out. So this has been the very first episode of the Action Trippin' Ballscast, starring Uroš Pavlovich and myself. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and get notifications of our vidcasts every week, as well as my unboxing videos. And Uroš is actually confident enough in his gaming skills to post some streams. I'm debating starting a show called Carrie Sucks at Games. I haven't decided yet. You can watch me really suck at Mad Max at driving, how it just kind of go like all over the place. I look like a drunk driver.
Can I just say that my footage is going to look the same? I never claimed to be skillful.
That's what I tell people all the time. Like, I never said I was good at it. I just really love it. All right, and you can follow each of us on Twitter. I am at Crunchy Chocobo. Uroš is at Urevader, Urevader, and site is action_trip. Of course, we ask that you read actiontrip.com every day, where we have news, we post features. Our Disney Infinity 3.0 review is finally up. Blake is supposed to have his Forza 6 review up very soon, and then Uroš has Metal Gear Solid 5, and then I'll get to Mad Max when I feel like it. Don't fire me. All right, and with that, we will see you all next week. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.